mind my morning hair. My hair does super crazy things in the morning, and then by later it's gonna be flattened out. I have some like Dragon Ball Z stuff going on here. Gosh, okay, so this with it. All right. So I'm Moxie. I'm gonna try and make some sourdough rolls for my family's Christmas Eve party this Friday. I'm probably starting this just a little too early, but that's okay. So here is my starter, and I want you to know I started doing sourdough before people thought it was cool. No one, like, the pandemic first happened, everyone's like, sourdough. I started this before that. Not much, but I did. So since I don't use my sourdough starter all the time, like every day or even sometimes not even once a week, I keep it in the fridge and I only feed it once a week. About once a week. But since I'm going to be using it, I need to feed it and then let it sit out in the open and the warm air to get moving again. So I'm going to show you what I do with that. Alright, so I use a food scale to do my stuff. Put this on, power this on. Alright, so this is pretty small, so I'm actually going to put a good amount in here. Maybe I'm going to be using 80, right? 80 grams for my recipe. So I'm going to, 26, maybe I'll put 40 or 50. I can't read upside down. I gotta turn this. Oh, that is 50 right there. All right. So we're gonna do equal parts water to flour. Oh, so close. Now, right here where it's switching back and forth, it's like a half maybe. I'm going to leave it at that because it's okay to just do just a teeny bit less on water than flour. And there's some bakers who actually prefer to just do a little less of water. And then I usually take a chopstick and stir around. So this is what, leaving this out after feeding it is going to make what they call a mature starter. And it takes 6 to 12 hours, or have it out on the counter for about 6 to 12 hours before the mature starter will be ready. And you can leave these guys out on the counter. I say these guys because this is bacteria that's making this sourdough starter. So you can leave the starter on the counter all the time. It just means you have to feed it more often. So you can see it's just kind of a big clump right now. And by later tonight, even tomorrow morning, it's gonna have expanded and filled up. I bet it'll come, well, maybe not quite to there, probably about like right here maybe. We'll see. And it'll be full of bubbles and it will smell really lively and it'll be great. So I'm just gonna leave this right here on the counter. And then we'll come back later when we're ready to go to the next step. Making sourdough bread isn't hard, but it does take time. This recipe that I'm doing, I think I've mentioned this before. I don't even remember. I don't remember. I combine 2 or 3 different things. I just made this. It's like sandwich bread almost, but sourdough bread. But instead of sourdough bread, traditionally comes in round loaves. But I like being able to use it a little bit better with sandwich meat or or toast or whatever, just a little bit more traditional of like, you know, bread tin kind of thing. And so that's what I made this out to be. And so from start to finish, this takes, let's say if I was really diligent, it'd probably take just 2 days, but it usually takes me about 3-ish days, because a lot of it is like this. You put in the ingredients and then you just let it sit and do its thing. And that's how you get the sour part of it. And sourdough bread is really good for people, especially those with gut problems that can't handle wheat very well. So a lot of people who have gluten problems, besides the gluten, there's, and I think I'm getting this right, I will double check this for sure, but on the wheat kernel, you have a protective layer, and you have this on a lot of different things like tomatoes and the skin of peppers, and it's a lot of different plants that we eat that try to protect themselves, and it's called lectins, and it's that barrier that usually causes people to have adverse reactions to this food. And so by doing the sourdough bread, the bacteria in here actually eats away at the lectin and breaks that down, so it's easier for our bodies to digest. And so like my dad, for example, doesn't handle like whole wheat flour very well, and this recipe is like not quite a third, not even a third whole wheat, like a fifth whole wheat, and the rest of it is white bread flour. And so that's why some people can eat white flour better than whole wheat flour, is because white flour is processed more, so you don't have those same lectins and the germs and stuff that you get with whole wheat flour. So whole wheat flour is more nutritious, but also has those lectins that they're not poisonous per se, but they can cause problems, like, you know, like with your digestion or with allergies and stuff. So that back and forth. So anyway, my dad can't really eat whole wheat. That makes him feel funny. But he has had some of this sourdough bread, and he hasn't told me if anything bad has happened. So I'm gonna say no news is good news. So sourdough bread, for those that have problems eating bread, might actually be fine for you. I'm not saying it will, I'm just saying there's a higher likelihood that it would be fine because of the bacteria that eats those lectins and breaks it down, so our bodies can digest it and eat it better. And when I mentioned before about those sores that I'd get on my face from the allergies and bread and sugar and stuff, I don't get that with sourdough bread. I can eat as much sourdough bread as I want and I won't break out. And so that to me is a testament towards how sourdough bread can be better for our systems. So, okay, we're gonna let this sit out, and probably won't look at it until either tonight or tomorrow morning, probably tomorrow morning. I like to call this the forget me bread, because sometimes one time I took like 5 days to make it, and it just set out, and it was fine, maybe just a little bit more sour, but you can really forget this recipe like as you're going through the steps, and it's fine. But I don't know if you've noticed from past videos, David put this shelf up here so we can put the microwave up, because it used to be in that corner. And this kitchen is just small with a lot of counter space, and so putting this microwave up really helped free up space, especially this counter, not island, but close, just this that we're working on right now. It was really crowded, and now it's a lot more open, which is very nice. There's a dishwasher under here, and we just don't use dishwashers. We've been hand washing dishes for our whole married lives. We've had access to dishwashers for the last couple of years, but we just find them more of a hassle, because since there's just the two of us, by the time we have enough dishes to fill the dishwasher, we want those dishes because we have dishes that we use often, like these little wipe bowls. We use these for salads, and since we only have 2. So anyway, we're thinking about getting rid of this dishwasher and putting more covered space, because I mean, there is some covered space, but we would like more in the kitchen. especially since some of the stuff is weird. So like over here, you have a smaller drawer there, and then we have two big drawers like this, and so we're just wasting half the space in there. And I'm sure there's things we could put in there to make it too. It's just the time and effort to do that, and so those kind of suck. I kind of wish there was more of these small ones, maybe just one big one. But anyway, Dave is an amazing organizer, and I like it where I throw the stuff over here and then he organizes it, and it's beautiful. I do that with Stan sometimes, where I get the information and like, here's this stuff, and then he takes it and makes it pretty and turns it into a nice, organized whatever we're working on. So yeah, good times. All right, I will talk to you either tonight or in the morning. I think I was trying to combine the words. Tomorrow night, anyway. All right. Round rolls. Loaves.